Hey everybody, this is Keith here of Euphoria Pictures. Welcome back to my channel. Right folks, so for this video it's going to be a simple pickups video. I'm going to be showing you all the titles that I've gotten in the last couple of weeks. Not too many, there's only around 6 or 7. All 4K releases, a couple of steelbooks and one limited edition box set as well. And it goes without saying, but I will be sharing my thoughts on the movies themselves. So I'm going to jump right into this because I don't want the video to go on too long. So I'm going to start with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now before I do anything, I want to show this steelbook because it is rather beautiful. As you can see with the artwork, there is quite a lot going on here, and you'd almost have to kind of pause the picture just to take it all in. Now it has a high gloss finish on it as well, and it's one of those steelbooks that forms one picture going around the entire steelbook, and that's the back of it there. As a matter of fact, I will open the steelbook in full so you can get a full picture of it. So yes, I instantly fell in love with the steelbook. There is 2 variants out there. The other one does look rather nice as well, but I'm so happy I picked this one up in the end. And that's the inside of it. Now, as for the movie itself, yeah, I heard all the horror stories, and I went into this with my expectations very low. And I have to tell you, I really enjoyed this movie. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it near as much as I did. I thought it was a blast. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a perfect movie. It's far from it. One of the biggest issues I had with it is all the new characters that they introduced. Far too many. And you simply won't give a shit about most of them. So that's kind of going against it. The New York City setting is fantastic. It's great to see the firehouse as well. It felt like a Ghostbusters movie at times. They had an interesting villain. That's him up there. He looked rather badass as well. But there's one thing that really bothered me with it is there's this other base of operations they have in New York. And it kind of gave me this Men in Black vibe. And not saying that Men in Black is bad, it just doesn't work well for this movie. And not only that, but that new environment gave us new characters that, like I said, you just simply don't care about. But for the most part, the returning characters that we got from Afterlife, I think, put in a solid performances. Finn Wolfhard, I think that's his character's name. He's my only one that I had an issue with. Again, it's nothing to do with his performance. They simply just don't know what to do with his character. They didn't know what to do with him in Afterlife, and they still don't know what to do with him in this movie. As a matter of fact, all he basically does in this movie is hunt down Slimer, and that's about it. But all in all, folks, I had a great time with it. It was a real pleasant surprise. The 4K transfer on it looks absolutely astonishing. It really does. And it has a demo-worthy audio on this one as well. Dolby Atmos soundtrack. I think you're going to be pleasantly, well, it won't pleasantly surprised. You will be massively impressed, I should say. If you're a fan of this, I think you'll be blown away by its 4K transfer. So, yes, Frozen Empire, Ghostbusters. Really enjoyed it. And a welcome entry into my collection. Right, so up next is another 4K steelbook. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the movie because I haven't seen it in years, but I couldn't pass this steelbook up. It looked absolutely incredible, and I'm looking forward to revisiting the movie as well. And of course, it is Star Trek, The Search for Spock. So basically what I'm going to do here, folks, is just showcase this beautiful steelbook all for you. So I know you can't quite make it out because there is a clear slipcase on this, but I will remove it now in a second. But you will notice you can see Spock's face there on the steelbook. And right around to the back, it gives you a write-up of the movie, your credits, all your technical information, all that kind of stuff. But when I remove the slipcase like so, now you get to see the steelbook in full, and check this out. It is absolutely exquisite. You can see Spock's face. It has a lovely bit of embossing to it. But I have to tell you, it's the colour scheme to the steelbook that really steals the show for me. Look at that. I was blown away by it. And when I seen this on Amazon, it was going for like €20. I could not pass it up. A beautiful 4K steelbook like this. No way. And this is the back of the steelbook, which looks equally as beautiful. Lovely high gloss finish to it as well. And I will open it up in full and give you a look. And there you have it. So that's the inside of the steelbook itself. Back to the usual boring Paramount discs. And yeah, of course you get a booklet as well with it. So like I said, I haven't seen it in years. I do remember enjoying it. I thought it was a solid sequel to The Wrath of Khan. And I won't be checking this out anytime soon because this is the only one that I have on 4K when it comes to the Star Trek movie, so naturally I want to pick up the others before doing anything. But I've heard very mixed things when it comes to the 4K transfers. I hope they're not as bad as what people are making them out to be. I'll know very, very soon, because I am going to hunt down the rest of them. So yes, The Search for Spock, like I said, I got this on Amazon for €20. I don't know if it's still that price now, but I couldn't pass up on it. So yes, The Search for Spock. Right, so up next is one of those movies that I never thought in a million years would get a 4K release. And I have to give all the credit in the world to Scream Factory for delivering titles like this on 4K. And the movie is Dark Angel. Now, I am going to quickly talk about the synopsis of this, even though I'm half tempted not to do so, because chances are I might put you off it, because it sounds absolutely ridiculous. But don't let me put you off it. It is a fun, over-the-top action sci-fi movie, and I had a blast revisiting this one. So it stars Dolph Lundgren, and he's chasing this fella here, who is in fact an alien. He's a drug-dealing alien, and he's using human bodies to manufacture drugs. And that's Dark Angel. Dolph Lundgren is chasing them down. And like I said, I had a fun time with it. Some great action set pieces in it. Some interesting characters. The alien himself is quite badass. He always says the same line every time he kills somebody. He always says, "I come in peace." And the way he does it, it's just so sinister. The face of him, it's just, oh, puts the shivers down my spine. But like I said, as ridiculous as the synopsis sounds to this one, I highly recommend checking it out. And the 4K picture on this one is by no means perfect. But look, it's Dark Angel we're talking about here. Like I said, I hadn't seen it since VHS. So any kind of transfer was going to be a marked improvement over that. And for the most part, I think Scream Factory has done an absolutely phenomenal job on this one. And it does also come with a DTS 5.1 audio. And it's a good mix as well. I think you'll be massively impressed by it. Good audio, decent 4K picture as well. Breathes new life into this movie. And trust me, it needs new life. I had an absolute blast with it. And I highly recommend checking it out. So yes, Dark Angel. Right, so up next is a 4K sequel that I finally got around to picking up, and it is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, if you're not particularly aware of this sequel, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. do reprise their roles in this one. She is still scarred by the events of the first movie. She wins a trip to the Bahamas with her friends. They get there, and when they get there, they quickly realise that they're there through storm season. And, of course, Ben Willis is on the island, picking them off one by one. It's a fun sequel. It never hits the heights of the original. It was never going to. But I had a good time with it. Now, the one glaring issue that I had with it is some of the cast members, the new cast members they introduced, particularly this one right here, Brandy. This thing of getting in these singers that think they can act and are there to basically help sell a movie, it does not work. I cannot stand her character, and it almost puts me off this movie. But it is the island setting that really drives it home for me. There's something eerie about the island, particularly when the storm hits. And it's a fun ride. It's a fun slasher movie. Like I said, nothing near as good as the original, but I had a good time with it. Now, the 4K picture on this one, it takes a while to get going, but once it does, it's a very solid looking 4K transfer. Again, much like the sequel, the movie itself, much like the original, sorry, the 4K transfer never hits the heights of the original. I think the 4K transfer on the original looks absolutely astonishing, but for the most part, this does look amazing. It is a very dark movie, so you want your deep blacks there. Naturally, they are there in abundance. I think you'll be massively impressed by it. Then it also comes with a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, and it's the Atmos that sells this movie for me on 4K. It sounds absolutely spectacular, but I'm always saying it, horror and Atmos go hand in hand, and this one is no different. An absolutely amazing sounding movie, and if you're a fan, I highly recommend checking out. So there you go, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Right, so up next is another horror title, another slasher movie I might add from the 70s, very, very underrated, and it is Black Christmas. So this is another Scream Factory title, And it's directed by Bob Clark, who is a very underrated director. I'm a big fan of his. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. And I think he's a very versatile director as well, because he directed this brilliant 70s slasher movie. He also directed probably one of my favourite comedies of all time, which is Porky's. And he also directed a Christmas favourite of mine, which is A Christmas Story. So like I said, a very versatile director. And I think for the most part, he done a wonderful job with this movie. But if you're not particularly aware of Black Christmas, it's quite simple. It's held in this fraternity. The girls are getting obscene phone calls. And of course, one by one, they're being picked off in this fraternity. It is your typical slasher movie. And if you're big into your 70s, 80s slashers, chances are you'll really enjoy this one. Now, the only issue I had with it is the 4K transfer, unfortunately. Now, I'm not going to blame Scream Factory for this one, because something's telling me it's just the source material is in very bad shape. The movie has this 16mm look to it, almost like, you know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And maybe if you did clean it up, you would be taking something away from the movie itself. But the issue I had with it was there wasn't one single frame in this where I went, wow, this actually looks like 4K. But the one thing I will say is the major upgrade you're getting here is on, of course, the Dolby Vision and HDR colours. They look absolutely incredible. It is a very, very grainy movie, folks, so brace yourselves for that. It does have a very soft presentation to it. And I think this is the best they can get out of it, so I am willing to cut it a break. But it also comes with a DTS 5.1 audio, and yeah, I found it to be good. It wasn't amazing, but again, it's all down to the movie itself. There's only so much they can do with it. But I don't think you're going to have too much in terms of problems with the audio. Just brace yourselves for the 4K picture on this one, folks. I was slightly let down by it, I'm not going to lie. But other than that, it's a great movie. Highly recommend checking it out. So, Black Christmas. Right, so up next is the last title that I'm going to be showing in this video. It is a second sight release, and it is You're Next. Now, I told a lot of people out there that I wasn't going to pick this one up because I wasn't a fan of it back in the day. I think it came out in 2011. But I said to myself, you know what, screw it, take a gamble on it. Chances are I might feel differently about it today because I feel like I've matured when it comes to being a viewer. And that's exactly what's happened with You're Next. I actually had a fun time checking it out for the second time, even though I do have some serious issues with it. Now, if you're not particularly aware of it, it is your typical home invasion movie. This family get together in this big house and they're being attacked by these three characters. And that's the issue I have with it, because these three, they're very efficient at the start of it, very capable of executing what they're doing. But then this character here, you find out as it goes on, she has a bit of a past where she was raised by a group of survivalists, and of course she's been trained to protect herself. And like I said, that's the issue I have, because when she kicks in, all of a sudden these lads start making very, very stupid decisions. And it does tarnish the movie somewhat. But other than that, I had a good time with it. I do think they tried to attempt one or two twists in this, but my God, you could see them coming a mile away. But like I said, I had a good time with it. It does have issues, no question about it. But if you're into your home invasion movies, chances are you might enjoy this one. Now, I have to give credit when it comes to second sight and the 4K transfer, the restoration that they've done on this. It looks absolutely immaculate. I am not kidding. I could not believe how good this movie actually looks on 4K. And if you're a fan of it, I highly recommend checking out this release of it. I think you're going to be blown away by it. As a matter of fact, I just wanted to quickly take you around it and show you exactly what it looks like. But if you're aware of my channel, you have to know I am a big fan of the colour scheme red and black. And this one definitely ticks all the right boxes for me. You got the main character there holding an axe. You've got You're Next in the background. And then the back of it is the masks of the three characters that you see in this. And then, of course, it being a second sight release, you do get the digipack packaging. As you can see, it's one of the characters on this holding a machete. And then you've got You're Next on the back. And then when you open it up, you get your, I presume it's your Blu-ray and your 4K discs. There you go. So that's the digipack. You also get a couple of postcards. One, that's the main cover artwork. And as you can see, that's the, was that the back? No, that was the artwork on the digipack. And then, of course, you get a couple of stills from the movie itself. And as you can see, they kind of stuck to the kind of red colour theme, which was pretty cool. and that's the family itself. So this postcards themselves just have a simple kind of matte finish to them. And then of course you get your booklet as well. As you can see, it's you can get a machete there, and then of course you're next in the background, and then when you turn around to the back, it's just one of the masks. And as you can see, it's quite a thick looking book, and the book covers everything when it comes to this movie. So again, Second Sight putting all the bells and whistles into their release. It's a fantastic edition, and like I said, I had a fun time with the movie, and I'm very happy that I picked it up in the end, even though it does have some glaring issues. So there you have it, folks. That is everything when it comes to this video, and for the most part, very, very happy with all of my pickups here. I think the one biggest disappointment I probably had was Black Christmas. As big as a fan as I am to that movie, I just wish the picture quality looked somewhat better on it. But other than that, very happy with my pickups. So there you have it, folks. So as per usual, if you did like what you see here, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you could leave a comment down below. And please do share your thoughts on some of the movies that I showcased in this video. And yeah, I hope to see you all again real soon with my next video. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.